Now, the West African Food System Resilience Program Project Coordinator Osu Ajimanosai has stressed the need for West African nations to embrace intra-regional trade to tackle food insecurity. The call comes during the National Validation Workshop in Accra, organized by ECOWAS through the West African Food System Resilience Program. To access data from the scorecard, the workshop brought together key stakeholders from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Ministry of Trade and Industry, the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Standards Authority, and the international partners like the World Bank. The event coordinator, Owusu Osei, spoke to the media.
The thing of FSRP, as said, is to address food insecurity in the sub-region. And we say sub-region because we consider the sub-region as one. We have a similar climate. People, if you look at faces, it's difficult, unless the person speaks, it's difficult to say who is a Togolese or who is a Ghanaian. We are one, we move to each other. Our foods are the same, so the names that differs. And more importantly, we are afflicted by similar external factors. Let's say terrorism affects us all. And there is climate variability or climate change that affects us all. There's a lot of population migration. In Ghana, most of the center.
Government continues to support ECOWAS regional integration efforts through our commitment to ratification, harmonization of several trade policies and initiatives such as the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, ECOWAS Agriculture Policy, and the establishment of Africa Continental Free Trade in Ghana being the headquarters. Under the current government, good neighborliness talk, you must observe that this great effort by His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama aimed to reinforce diplomatic and economic relationship with Ghana and its neighboring countries. In recent visits, the President highlighted the vital role that long-distance truck drivers play in the economies of both nations. He acknowledged the existing challenges faced by these transporters, including cumbersome customs procedure, roadblocks, delay at border crossing, and unofficial fees imposed along the trade route.
On her part, the World Bank task team leader, Rika Sebastian, noted that intra-regional trade is crucial for economic growth, poverty reduction, and competitiveness.
Part of the work of this program is to harmonize trade policies and regulations. So we considered this aspect critical in encouraging, facilitating not just the production side of things, but then the trade part of things. And we realized that there's this gap in understanding what types of barriers and constraints there are to trade. So the kinds of challenges that traders and other private sector actors face when they're trying to trade between countries in the region, it's quite significant. And in fact, it's so significant that the World Bank, in the upcoming spring meetings in Washington, they are going to be discussing this with key ministers who are involved in this, because there's a huge cost of, logistical costs, trade costs that increase your trade time, that discourage people from trading across borders. It's kind of similar to this global cost of doing business indexes that we have, but this is specific to agriculture and it's specific to the region. And at the moment, we have 5 countries that have collected this data to inform what's happening on the trade side of things. And eventually, we hope that there'll be additional countries. In fact, the World Bank is financing, through grant financing, an additional 9 countries in the region that are not FSRP countries to work with ECOWAS to collect this data. And what we want the Ghanaian public to know is that in addition to looking at trade barriers, we're trying to do practical things to mitigate some of these barriers. We are rehabilitating border posts. We are rehabilitating key major markets in Ghana. We are working with traders and private sector actors to give them information about certification, SPS standards. We're working with policymakers, inspectors at borders, and we hope to scale that up in Ghana to ensure that they're all trained on the types of processes that are